This is Paul Newman with the Cash Flow Cafe podcast. Today we have Mr. Max Johnson. Today, in 1 minute or less, tell us all about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Max Johnson. I'm from Athens, Georgia. Um, Played quarterback for my whole life. Kind of grew up in a football family, surrounded by football. Played at LSU, Texas A&M, UNC, and now here at Georgia Southern on the seventh year. And I feel like I've, had to learn how to get up. I've had a lot of injuries in my career, played a bunch in the beginning, and then learned how to fight, how to be a man, grow up, and learned a lot. So I'm excited about this year.
Well, we're super excited to have you. I mean, Georgia Southern is super lucky to get with a ton of experience. Max, when you're playing quarterback, what goes through your mind on a game winning drive or preparing for the really your team is behind? What is your thoughts take you to?
Yeah, I think all that starts in, practice. I think like getting your guys going, hey, got to go down and score. That is the goal. Getting your guys fired up. And I think what's important is being prepared for the moment. Like preparing all the time from January till the season. That is important because you don't get that time back. And, whether you need a field goal or a touchdown, whatever your team needs, you got to go out there and, produce and go do it. So, you got to learn how each and every guy responds, how they need encouragement, and being able to be that guy is important as the quarterback.
I mean, I think your experience is going to be so good. What separates in your mind a good quarterback from a great one?
Yeah, I think just knowing when and where to go with the ball. When to take the shot and when to check it down. And then honestly, being able to lead your guys. Each and every single person's led differently. One guy may need, one-on-one talk, and then you need to be able to talk to the team. You talk to them differently. But I think just what separates is, being able to have great accuracy and great decision making.
How many hours are you, maybe you in particular, but the college athlete today, how many hours are you guys putting in? Because you guys work your butts off. What does that
Yeah,
look
it's
like?
a lot. I'm waking up around 5:30 or so, and then get to the facility around 6:15. Like today, we got there at 6:15, ended up leaving probably at 2:30. So it's been good. It's a lot of meeting time, a lot of practice time that we get in the summer. So it's great to get that connection with all with the receivers and the O linemen. So it's been awesome.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background. You said you're from Athens. I understand you're a little bit of a quarterback family. Can you give us a little bit of background
Yeah.
on Mr.
So
Max?
my uncle is Mark Richt, and growing up was a Georgia fan, and
Yep.
I kind of grew up going to those games, and always wanted to win because I was just wanted to go have fun at a bowl game. I didn't really know what was going on, but yeah, my dad played in the NFL for 17 years, and I kind of got just to learn a lot from him. And my brother's playing tight end at Auburn, and so kind of just kind of surrounded by football our whole lives. Learn to get through the hard things, and just learn as much about football as I can from my
I mean, amazing people to learn from. I mean, your father being a 17-year vet. Did he win a Super Bowl as well?
He did.
Awesome. I mean, I'm sure that was a super cool moment. I mean, so you sounds like you probably eat, sleep, and breathe football, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean that's I feel like the reason why I get up every morning. I absolutely love the game of football. There's so much to love about it. As such as being a quarterback, I think it's the best position in the world.
Now you had a lot of adversity, Max. Tell us about the adversity you've had to go through and some of the some of the injuries that really said, man, is this why is this happening to me?
Yeah. I think when you ask the question like why is this happening to me, in the moment I didn't really know, and then I broke my thumb at Texas A&M my junior year, and then my senior year I broke my ribs, and then transferred to UNC where I we were playing Minnesota, ended up breaking my femur, and got this thing called compartment syndrome, and almost was 2 hours away from getting my leg amputated. So it kind of like makes you realize like why do you play the game of football? And for me, I was laying in bed one night staring at the ceiling, and it all like hit me all at once. It's like, why do I play the game of football? I was playing it for me, my gain, and just what can I do? In all reality, since being a Christian, you fall back on your foundation. It was like a punch in the face. It's like, wow, I'm playing the game for the wrong reasons, and it made me realize that I want to honor the Lord with the way I play, not just let me go do it for my gain.
Man, that's so cool. And faith is a big part of my life. And I really, a big thing that I get involved with is athletes in action. Matt Wise is a big leader here locally and got an awesome foundation in our students and our student athletes. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with that.
Yeah, it's been great. I met so my cousin actually went here a long time ago. His name was Elijah Hines. He got really close with Matt Wise, and kind of just was, come to Georgia Southern, and to be honest, I never thought it really happened. And then
Right.
ended up coming here and I got really close with Matt Wise. Went on a mission trip to Colombia back and during spring breaks. That was something that I've never done before, never thought I would do, and it was kind of a life changing experience for me.
Man, that is so cool. How many players ended up going on that for our team or ballpark?
I think it was I'm not sure honestly, but I think it was around like 17. I'm not sure, it was a lot though. It was really good to get you get to have that bonding time with everybody.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's some of the offensive guys as well, not just the defensive guys. So you really probably hit it off with some of your teammates.
It was great, yeah. So I get to have a couple, months here, and yes, of course, you're bonding with them outside of football, but it was really great to see that, uh, you know, brotherly love through, the Christian atmosphere we're in.
Yeah, I think that faith and leadership has always been a big deal for me, and I think that people look up to athletes. I mean, and people definitely look up to the quarterback. So the fact that you're coming in with a strong faith and have a big story to tell, I think we're in for a really big year. Um, Tell us about some of the games coming up, and Houston's coming into Georgia Southern for the very first time. It's one of the biggest schools to ever come into Georgia Southern. The schedule looks pretty tough this year, but I'm excited about your experience. Can you touch on some of the things that we may have, obviously without revealing plays, but just kind of what we're looking to do this
Yeah, I
year?
think that we're super excited about the team, Coach Helton and put together. I think there's a lot of guys that, some guys that we retained, which are, great players around to have, and a lot of guys, a lot of new guys that we brought in as well that we're excited about. But
How about can you spotlight a couple guys that you're just like, ooh, he's gonna be
it's hard to really say because we got dudes all over the field. It's pretty special. So I'm so excited. It's hard to just spotlight, but I'm excited to get to bond with those guys up front and get the chemistry down with the receivers.
Max, let's fast forward a little bit. You have a great year this year. We win 10 games, and you just have an amazing season. Where would you hope that your next 5, 10 years looks like?
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, this is always was my plan. Was I want to play in the NFL? That's my dream. I grew up as a little kid thinking that like this is what I want to do, and I feel like I've worked towards that for my whole life. And I guess if you would say like a dream team of the Vikings would be pretty cool. But I would love to play anywhere. If the Lord is willing, I would love to play in the NFL, and that is 100% my dream.
That's so good. What's a typical week look like during a game week for you? Like, what's your mindset, and what's your preparation? What's your meals look like? Some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think you kind of start off with um, a lot of the stuff. But for me, I like looking at like the protections wise. Like where do I need to send the alignment on certain blitz looks and kind of getting that stuff down. I love looking like through third down stuff first on Monday, and then Tuesday is like your bloodbath day. Or it's like when you're putting on full pads, you're getting after it, and then you're kind of slowing down on Wednesday, doing more 2 minute. You're doing more situational football,
Right.
And then Thursday is more walkthrough, going through your red zone plays, and then Friday is straight up walkthrough where you're kind of going everything, and then kind of get prepared, get your mind right, ready for the game on Saturday.
How about game day? Obviously, your nerves would be, to my nerves would be bad. What's your nerves like? Like, what's your pregame meals? What is your habit on an actual game day?
Yeah, so when you bring up nerves, I think I don't really get the nerves anymore, that of like nervousness. I think the last time I truly felt nervous was my first start in high school. I was super nervous for that game. I kind of got over that. Like that was my whatever, and then
Everything else,
everything else has been flowing from that. But you said pregame meal?
yeah, like
Yeah.
What's your pregame? Is it oatmeal? Is it some eggs?
Yeah.
Like, what's a big breakfast in the morning?
I'm a big breakfast guy, but I do love like chicken Alfredo. Just
Chicken Alfredo.
get the
Okay.
carbs going and get fired up.
So in a perfect world, your game day is a heavy dose of little chicken
That's
Alfredo.
right.
I love it. And then what? Just eat that, then kind of get that's going to carry you all the way through the game. I'm taking it.
100%.
So you got to play against some really big schools, and what's the best stadium that you've what atmosphere you're like, man, that was a really cool atmosphere.
Man, there was a bunch. For me, the loudest atmosphere that I played in was probably Tennessee, in Alabama. But my favorite was definitely playing home at LSU. Like a Saturday night.
That'd be crazy cool.
Yeah, Saturday night, big time SEC game. That was probably my favorite atmosphere. So.
Now, so far, what's been your most favorite game of all time that you've ever played?
Oof, that's a tough question. For me, probably, I know a lot of people remember the shoe game back in 2020 when Marco Wilson threw the shoe. That was my first start. But my favorite game ever was probably 2021 LSU versus Texas A&M. Probably my favorite game that I played in. Ended up going on a 2-minute drive to win the game.
How about that?
It was awesome. Check the fade ball. 3rd and 10, ended up winning the game.
So who, since you've really played at some really good schools, who's been your best receiver that you've played with yet to date?
Oof, that is hard.
One?
That is
So
a
you probably
tough
had
one
some
to
good.
say.
I mean, LSU's had some stud receivers.
It's hard to say. I think it's kind of cool. You get to play with a lot of good players from all these other schools. You know, we got some dudes here, which I'm excited about.
I am too.
For me, I got to see Jamar Chase his first semester of his junior year where he opted out. I've never seen him get covered. So that was probably the best receiver I've seen in person that I've thrown to.
He's
a freak.
He is a freak. Yeah. Did he go top 5?
I think he was top 3 and he opted out. Maybe top 5. He opted out that year and still got it.
LSU has so many good receivers. They seem to be loaded. If you could give 16-year-old Max some advice, what would that look like?
I think that, no matter what, when you get back down, you better get back up. That's kind of been my motto. Is like, I think in the song John Helton, I'm still standing. That's kind of like my thing. Is like, no matter what happened, I'm getting back up. You hit me, I'm getting back up. So no matter what, you get put on the ground and get back up. That's kind of the way I've lived, and that's what I'll tell him.
Yeah, I mean and you got to. I mean, I think in life, no matter what, you will face adversity, and you definitely have had your share. But it's like it doesn't matter how good life is. Life has plenty of curveballs. Even when you think you got it down, it comes for you. And that's why you go back to faith, right? I mean, that's your standard, your pillar to lean on, because you can have the best life ever and it still is going to come. Adversity is going to hit.
Exactly. And that's kind of the way, football is. Like you win one game, you're on a high, and then you lose one game, you're on a low. It's more of just like, how do you value success? And for me, in my eyes, it's like, yes, you want to produce and be the best you can be at what you're doing, but at the same time, living for, Christ, and you've already won. You've already won in life. You're going to heaven, and you're living for Christ. You've already won. You don't have to worry about all the external things going on around you.
What are you telling the guys, because you got so much experience? I mean, that'd be such a cool thing for the young guys coming in the room.
Yeah.
How are you leading them? What are you saying to them that they're just bright-eyed and they're coming in as 18, 19-year-old college kids?
Yeah, I think that, when I came in, it's going to be hard. Of course it's going to be hard. You're going through, the workouts, you're going through the practices. It's a lot on your body. It's a lot mentally. And you're kind of just, sometimes it's okay just to slow down and kind of just take a step back, realize that it's going to be hard, and then get back into it and keep going. So there's no reason to get down on yourself when things get hard, because, you got a lot of time to learn, to get better, and to grow.
What do you tell some stuff? I've really gotten to know Coach Heldon. He's an awesome cat. Calls everybody Big Horse.
He does. Bye, Big Horse.
Yeah. Tell us what makes Coach Heldon different than some of the other coaches you've had.
Yeah. Again, going back to faith, like Coach Heldon loves the Lord. He is a godly man who, leads our team to love the Lord. And I think that's, in my eyes, that's so important. I've never had a head coach that is so, that leads in such a great way. But in all reality, Coach Heldon is a man who just loves football, who loves the Lord, and loves his players. His thing is to be coached is to be loved. And I've learned that since being here. So I've learned a lot from Coach Heldon. And at the same time, Coach Heldon loves doing things outside of football, which is, fishing, golf. And they got after our tails in golf back in early summer. So it's been awesome to learn from him.
So Max, what are, speaking of hobbies and different things, like what are things that you enjoy doing when you're not playing football? Of course, I know you're probably obsessed because you're good at football. So what are you doing in your off time to kind of let loose and have fun?
Yeah, I think I love just hanging with the guys. Like we'll go play golf, we'll do some cookouts, watch some movies. But I love just being with the guys. I don't like being at home alone, just not doing nothing.
You're a social.
Love doing with the guys. I think it's just, I think that's like my calling, is just to be with guys, have fun, and just to, get to know each other better.
Now, if you didn't play football, what would be your sport?
Oof. I think I'm an elite ping pong player.
Let's go.
But of course, you could say baseball, but I feel like I'm an elite ping pong player.
Oh, it's ping pong. Also, I've played you in pickleball already.
Yep.
Right when you got here.
Yep.
And yes, he can play pickleball too. I was like, dude, this dude is tall. So you've got a lot of height and a lot of game. I love ping pong too, but it can translate to pickleball a little bit too.
I think so too, yeah. I feel like I've gotten better at pickleball because of ping pong. Just trying to get some spin on the ball, but I enjoy both. I think it's a great workout. So
I'm super competitive with that. Max, what would you financially tell some of the college students, or as you're learning and your kind of growth financially, what do you think are important for the younger guys maybe to catch from a financial standpoint to try to learn about money and saving and investing and doing
Yeah, I
stuff?
think of course with the whole NIL thing nowadays, you want to. It's something that a lot of people, you go in like, oh my gosh, I just got this certain amount of money. I want to go spend it on something. I really
Right.
want something, and I think it's just in all reality, you're working towards something bigger than that. You're playing college football to reach the NFL,
Yep.
and there's no reason to just go on, spend money and just blow your money.
Right.
But in all reality, you're going to need that one day. So being able to just, um, I would say, just have patience and think about what you're going to do with your money, and because you're gonna have to provide one day.
You know, that's important to me is kind of how people protect and save. And it's kind of one of the things I'm passionate about. A lot of advice I would try to give, a lot of people would say, never take out a credit card or, you know, if you use it the right way, credit cards can start to
Correct.
build your credit. I mean,
Exactly.
you go to buy your first car or a piece of furniture, or those things, you can get a better interest rate instead of getting 8 or 9% or not getting approved at all. So, trying to like credit is such a simple thing, but it's probably the most important thing you could kind of say to a young person is like, let's start working on
Agree.
credit.
Agree. I think with that for me, I actually started that 6 years ago. So for me, I use my credit card only for groceries and gas. I'm not using it on other things, but it just
Perfect.
starts your credit score.
Perfect.
You're gaining points and you're getting all this stuff
Yep.
because you're paying off all these other things, which for me would just be groceries and gas, which is so important because you're getting that credit score.
I think that's a great tip. I mean, if you could get anybody say, look, this isn't a free card to just go, hey, I'm buying drinks and going to expensive restaurants. You literally can limit it to say, look, this pays for my grocery bill and it pays for my gas. And that's all you have to do to start building your credit.
Exactly.
So yes, I'm not trying to go against parents and people that advise you, but if you can start, take out a credit card, but you have to be disciplined and smart. So big asterisk by that because you don't want to just start swiping and hope that it's there. And I think that, when you get this NIL money and someone like, oh, I'm handing so much money, like, all right, guys, you still have to pay taxes on this. Like, there's a ton of things to, and so, I have a true passion to try to help people because I don't think in college we're not getting taught that necessarily. We're not getting taught credit score and buying a house or investing for your future. So that's something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, I think that's important because as an 18-year-old kid receiving a certain amount of money, you're not going to really know what to do with it if you haven't been taught. Like, I'm sure there's classes and certain things you can do to take to learn about that, but you're not getting informed as an 18-year-old kid coming into college unless, your parents are talking to you about that and that stuff.
So when you were growing up, it sounds like football was just eat, sleep, and breathe it, which is amazing. Did you have to move around a good bit, or with your dad and your family?
Yeah, I did. I did. Growing up, I don't remember exactly what ages I went to certain spots, but went to Minnesota, lived there, lived in DC, lived in Dallas, so kind of been all around, and then lived in Tampa, but been all around the country. I feel like, and kind of learned how to make friends and how to do it the fast way.
Yeah, let's touch base on that. When you have to move around, you have to adapt, and the power of networking is so underrated. I mean, when you meet people, shake their hand, get in touch, find a way to connect. Usually, a big time easy connector for me has always been sports. I'm like, oh, you da 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 da, and it's an easy thing for me to connect. But networking and connections, and that's look, there's 98% of the people on the Georgia Southern football team is probably not going to the NFL. So, what kind of networking can you make some connections locally? When you talk to people, they want to help athletes. Like people look up to athletes, and getting that degree from Southern and saying I play football, that's an instant open door. But you also have to use it. You have to connect the dots and network. Can you shed light on some of that?
Yeah, I think it's important to. It's not really what you know to and I think that's so important because after, let's say you play football and something catastrophic happens and you can't play football anymore and you're trying to figure out what I want to do, you're going to go talk to somebody who you met throughout this process or who you built a relationship with. So that's important because that person may help you along the way to get a job one day or something, because you don't want to be stranded not knowing what you're going to do.
And people want to help. I mean, and so if you leave a good impression on people, shake hands, command a good presence about yourself, and what do you put on social media? Are you uplifting? Are you positive? Are you divisive? Or are you not paying attention when you're meeting somebody new? Is your head buried down? Are you in your phone? So, I would encourage everybody to kind of get out and network and shake hands and leave with a good positive attitude.
I think, yeah, leaving with a positive attitude, a good reputation is so important. Just looking someone in the eyes when you're shaking their hand and just leaving a good impression is so important, because that may be the only time you ever meet that person, is that one single time you shake their hand. So if you leave a bad impression, they're probably not going to think about you or try to help you out later on in life.
Well, and oftentimes college is, you're definitely being tested. Can you go to class? Can you finish the task? I mean, football is obviously really hard. You're having to go to school and and play football, but what you want to do is you want to leave these good lasting impressions. I mean, some of these coaches that you guys, they're so connected, and I've seen so many guys get out of football. Maybe they didn't keep playing,
Yep.
but boom, they wanted to get into coaching, and because they were charismatic and they were a good teammate and a good leader, they can go right into coaching.
Yeah, that it reminds me of Dave Dallas. He played quarterback here, and he had a shoulder injury, and it kind of just showed the character that he has is, he got hurt, his shoulder was jacked up, and then he had such a good reputation that he kind of came here and started coaching with the quarterbacks. So I think that goes to speak on that. It's important to have those relationships with your coaches, because later on, if something doesn't work out, you can always fall back on my relationships, such as such a great relationship with Coach App. In David's eyes, he came back and worked for him. It's pretty crazy. So
yeah, like somebody like that's also in your family, like Mark Rick, like just a faith-based leadership person that has probably impacted so many people in their life. So what a great person to have in your family, because like I could think of none better than him to kind of model and learn after and watch over.
Yeah, it's crazy, because he was killing it at Georgia, killing it at Miami, and then he got on the ACC network and he actually got Parkinson's disease. So it goes to speak on kind of his character, such as he's still being a light to others. Although he's going and he's struggling right now with some certain things, but at the same time, he's a light. He is. He loves the Lord. He is exemplifying him, and I think people love the type of character May is.
Well, I think it's coaches that I think it can impact these people's lives in such a big deal, because it's athletics. We look up to our athletes, and if somebody has the faith base and the Christian leadership, like it's just such an impact for God's kingdom, and that's what we're called to do.
It is, and I think that that's kind of what we have going on within our team right now. There's a lot of guys going to Bible study, and it's so cool to praise the Lord together. It's what we're called to do. It's what we're called to make disciples. Matt Wise has done such a great job of bringing everybody together, and I think that's why our team this year is so close.
Well, Max, I've got some big expectations this year. I know you've put them on yourself. What are the goals you think for the team this year? What are some big goals?
First, of course, we want to win a Sun Belt Conference championship. That's right. But that is, taking each and every day as its own. Like, we have to go out and not lose a single day. That includes the summer. That includes fall camp. And win each and every single game that is in front of us. So not look ahead, not look behind. Be exactly right where we are, and ultimately win a Sun Belt Conference championship. That's what we're doing.
Love it. It's the end of the year, big time goals. We're going to win the Sun Belt Conference championship, and you're going to be one of the GOATs of all time here at Georgia Southern. So, Max, love you coming on the show. I really have great expectations, and I've just enjoyed getting to know you. And best of luck for the 2026 season.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having
us. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.